Alrighty, so we've got the keys to victory to look out for from Alabama and Missouri. And I want to start off for Missouri with you, Kyle. What are the keys to victory for the Missouri Tigers? And if Missouri wins this game, it'll be the first time since September 8th of 1975. And prior to that, the last time Missouri beat us was the 1969 Liberty Bowl. And 1969 was a fun year for everybody, where everybody was making peace and love, but it was not peace and love for Alabama, but it was peace and love for Missouri that day in the 1969 Liberty Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, Alabama's the last SEC team that Mizzou hasn't beat as a conference opponent, I'm pretty sure. And I think the keys to victory for the Tigers look the same as they have through these first handful of games. It's just doing it against a much tougher opponent, but running the ball, stopping the run, and making sure the communication issues in the secondary have been worked out. Kind of the key to every game so far for Missouri has been just control the clock as much as possible. They're averaging about 39 minutes of possession time, which wild that they're almost doubling up opponents. But again, pretty easy schedule so far. So, yeah, doing kind of that same thing. Run the ball a lot, control the clock, and stop Alabama from running the ball. I'm pretty sure Ryan Williams and, Ty Simpson's going to have a big game. So it's going to come down to getting stopped some other way, and that's going to be stopping the run.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, you got to stop the run. I mean, that's key for both teams right there. Yeah. I mean, like Florida State made sure to put a ton of pressure on Ty Simpson, and they put a stop to the running game. Like, shoot, us up big time. But, of course, like you said, you have to put a stop to Ahmad Hardy. You do that, you're good to go. You'll be more than good to go.
Yeah, and there would need to be some pretty big adjustments to what Mizzou's offense wants to try to do if Ahmad Hardy's having a bad day, because we haven't seen what that looks like yet.
No, because I'm going ahead and looking at Missouri's schedule so far, and there's that South Carolina game, and y'all won 29-20, but I see 171 passing yards from Bo Perbula, and I see Norfleet and Johnson on that lineup.
Mm-hmm.
And they had an all right game. And then there's that Kansas game I'm going ahead and looking at. Perbula had another great game himself. So if Ahmad Hardy can't be able to get it done, can Jamar Roberts do it?
He's also been fantastic. I mean, he came in when Mizzou played at Bama last year and had 72 yards to lead the team. He was kind of the only part of the Tiger offense that worked in that game, especially once Brady Cook went out with his hand injury. He's looked great. I mean, I kind of thought coming into the year that he'd be a fine backup and kind of a 3 yards in a cloud of dust type of run right at you and get stopped type of back. That's not what he's been. I mean, he's shown some good breakaway speed in the Kansas game. He had the dagger, I think 50+ yard touchdown run right at the end where he was getting away from people, and he's broken a lot of tackles too. I mean, he's kind of clearly learned from Ahmad Hardy's rushing style and incorporated a good amount of it into his game to the point where it's occasionally hard to tell which one of them has the ball. They wear 20 and 29, which is not the easiest numbers to tell apart from a press box. And they run so similarly now that Jamal Roberts has had a couple runs where he runs through a guy and I go, there goes Ahmad Hardy again. And then he gets up from the tackle. I'm like, wait, that's number 20. Oh man. So he's been really good. They've been an excellent 1-2 punch together. And yeah, I mean, if Ahmad Hardy is getting stopped, I think the Tigers will try with Jamal Roberts, certainly. They feel similar to me in a way where if you are able to stop one, you probably have the formula to stop the other. but having them both has been a fantastic part of the Mizzou offense so far.
Oh man. And Zachary brings up an excellent point about how Alabama has been able to control the time of possession as well. I mean, that was another huge reason as to why Alabama beat Vanderbilt, because like we beat them 37 minutes to their 23 minutes. And that is a humongous key to this game is time of possession.
Yeah,
You get that controlled, you're good.
Yeah, I'm usually not a huge proponent of like time of possession shows dominance because I went to Oklahoma State for college, so in the better years than the past couple, and they would often lose.
Sorry, Cody Stovall locked on Oklahoma State.
Yeah, but they would often lose or be close to tied on time of possession, but still win by a couple of scores while I was there because they would hit on an explosive player too, right? So if you're able to do that or you get a defensive touchdown, like time of possession doesn't tell the whole story. But the way that Mizzou has played, and I'm sure the way that, especially in the Bama Vanderbilt game, played out, that time of possession really makes a huge difference because, especially for Mizzou, they're not often hitting on the explosive plays. It's just grinding down the field, converting third downs, staying on the field on offense as much as possible, and keeping the clock churning by running the ball. So it's just, I think it's these last 5 games for the Tigers have kind of changed how I view time of possession overall, but it very much has to do with kind of the style of play that's happening.
Oh yeah. And I'm wondering if Coleman Jr. can play a huge part in this victory, because I can't help but feel like he can anyway. Because you mentioned earlier on this show that he was 13th in the SEC last season, and it was in receiving.
He was third team at all SEC.
Third team.
Yeah, third team. Yeah, I think he was top 5 in yards at least. He was kind of the only part of that Mississippi State offense that worked last year. So the volume is down for him this year because there are more options that work for Mizzou's offense. It's not just throw it to Kevin Coleman and hope something happens the way Mississippi State's offense was at times last year. But I mean, when he's on, he has a fantastic day. And a lot of it has been, like you brought him up for the Kansas game. That was kind of his coming out party with Mizzou. He had a fantastic day that day, and a lot of it was get him the ball in kind of short yardage and let him make a man miss because he's shifty.
He was Mr. Bulldogs that day.
Yeah. And then he had a really nice game against UMass because UMass was lining up pretty far off the line, trying to stop deep passes, which just left, the short opportunity, 5-8 yard passes wide open. So Bo Pribula was just taking what the defense gave him and dumping it off to Kevin Coleman again and again and again. I don't expect that to be what Alabama does. I think Alabama probably doesn't have to choose quite as much as UMass does. Let's put it that way. They can just line up and be better than UMass is. I think that's a pretty fair statement. So I think Kevin Coleman will be an integral part of what Mizzou wants to do on offense. If he's shut down, or if Alabama chooses to kind of focus in on him, Brett Norfleet at tight end has been another kind of really solid short dump off option. I think he's kind of one of the hidden gems at tight end in the conference. He's not a huge name, but he's been really good kind of since he stepped on the scene as a freshman. And Mizzou's finally using him more effectively. The Tigers have not been great at using tight ends under Eli Drinkwitz, to the point where Brett Norfleet, if he gets about 60 yards in this game, is going to already have the best tight end season for a Tiger under Drinkwitz, because it was only like 330 yards or something. And then you mentioned Marquise Johnson. He's kind of the speedier outside guy, to the point where his nickname is Speedy. He's the take the top off the defense guy. And we haven't seen that a bunch. The first Mizzou drive of the season ended with a 49-yard touchdown to him. And then after that, it kind of hasn't shown up again.
Yeah.
His route tree has expanded a lot this year, which has been nice to see. That was a big part of him stepping into a bigger role. But if he is to be a standout player in this game, I think it's because he beats a corner in, press coverage or something and gets over the top.
Well, and I know Trotter can play a huge part in a Missouri victory if Missouri was to win, and Hubbard can play a huge part in an Alabama victory. Right there. I mean, like Bray Hubbard, man. Bro's been a team leader, I tell you what.
Yeah, I mean, I think especially if Hubbard can come away with a turnover, if Mizzou, like it has the last few games, makes a rough mistake in a turnover, or that a mistake that ends in a turnover, that could be, one of the key differences in the game. They didn't make a huge difference when they happened against Louisiana and UMass, right? Because it's Louisiana and UMass. But if there's a similar mistake that kind of hands Alabama the ball in the red zone the way it did in those two games, that's going to be a pretty huge momentum moment.
There we go.